thrive and connections ignite. At Global Speakers Talk, we are not just curators of events, we're architects of transformative experiences. Our mission is simple yet profound: to provide a global platform for voices that deserve to be heard, stories that deserve to be shared, and ideas that deserve to thrive. GST has successfully produced more than 2,000 virtual live events from 2020, and it's just getting better. Hi, my name is JB Herrera, and I'm the founder and CEO of Insight Driven Business. My passion is to bring people, knowledge, and wisdom together to help build a better world. But today, we have 7 speakers who are going to share their unique experiences and how it fits into the theme of today's event, which is New Year's resolutions and how to make them come true. Today, our first speaker is Darley Simmons. After a career as a teacher and school principal, Darley retired in 2022 and knew she wanted to continue to be of service to others. And after discovering the keys to her own weight loss struggles, Darley began to share her tips with a group of friends. Well, as we all know as entrepreneurs, from there, Ditch the Diet was born, and she began to spread that technique of brain training the body for lasting weight loss and improved confidence. Darley provides clean meal solutions without a restrictive diet, joyful movement activities, and a host of mindset strategies that support her clients to success. I'd like to welcome Darley Simmons to today's summit. Darley.
Thank you very much, JB. I am so excited to be here and welcome everybody here to this summit where we are here in position to on a journey, right, for empowerment, renewal of our goals, of our vision, of our passions, and what we want to see for 2024. And I agree with you, JB, that, this is the place to be. This is where, you can just begin to think about what you envision for 2024. And as JB said, I started on this journey myself. I was tired of the yo-yo dieting, like losing the weight and gaining it back and losing the weight. And I said, I have got to find a way that I can actually just lose the weight and lose it for good. And so what I discovered is that as we really embrace this new mindset and all around how we eat, what we eat, and how we move, this journey becomes a true lifestyle. It's something that we can just embrace and really become a part of who we are. And that's where it starts. We live in an instant society. We all want to lose 20 pounds by tomorrow, right? It's not going to happen. What I have is it taking like little steps and you just keep building on it. I love the book. I don't know if you've ever read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear,
Ooh.
but where you just take little simple steps and keep adding to it and adding to it. And that's really a lot of what my program is all about. But it starts with mindset. We need to really develop a new self-image, okay? Like instead of thinking that I am just totally addicted to junk food, we need to turn that around, because if that's the way you think, that's the way you're going to behave, and you're going to eat as if you're addicted to all that junk food. But I will tell you, it's not your fault if you feel addicted to junk food, because the food industry actually hires craveability experts. That's their job. They want us to eat more because it's higher profits for them. It just makes sense, right? So what we need to do is really work on why we want to lose the weight. Is it just simply for a smaller pant size, or is it bigger than that? Is it as we begin to age? Do we want to be able to stay self-sufficient? That was really what it was about for me. I knew as I'm aging, like I want to continue to be active. I love to golf. I want to continue to be on the golf course until my 80s and even 90s. I actually met a man not too long ago who still does mountain climbing, and he's well into his 80s, like I believe upper 80s. And it's all about maintaining our bodies. Our bodies do not have to fall apart as we age. We think that a lot of these diseases are just age related. I'm here to share with you a lot of it is food related and movement, lack of movement related, right? So that's really key, is to really embrace that you want to become healthier, and really why you want to become healthier, and that'll help you make better decisions. And the second component of my Ditch the Diet program is all about eating clean. And what do I mean by that? What I really mean is really making the core of what you eat basically lean proteins, vegetables, fruits, grains, and beans. That should be what 90% of your diet really is. I actually teach people how to cook like whole foods. I have partnered with a food company, so I have clean spice blends that can pull together a meal in 20 or 30 minutes. I know we're all time crunched, and that's a big part of it. It's much easier, to grab something that you can pop in the microwave and, but if you look at the package, and if there is a bunch of ingredients in there that either you can't read or you're not really sure what they are, I would say it's time to reconsider that and really go back to the basics. And it was like really in the 60s and 70s when the food industry really boomed with all of these pre-packaged meals. And if you look at the health challenges here, especially in the US, all of those things began to really creep up and increase at the same time. We've gotten away from fueling our body with good, wholesome food. Couple of things that are going to happen when you do this is one is you're going to have more energy. I have many friends my age. I turned 65 this year, and I'm not one I don't need a nap. And so many of my friends are like, oh, by mid-afternoon, I need a nap. Well, I used to need a nap because I used to be eating the wrong stuff, right? But if you're fueling your body with good, wholesome food, you're going to have the energy. You're gonna eliminate that brain fog. And for many of us, especially those of us who are entrepreneurs, like we are, and even, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're working, whether you're home with children and juggling a job in the home and all of that stuff. We have multiple tasks to get done in the day. And in order to really have the energy and again, have the focus, have the ability to really accomplish all that you want to accomplish, it really starts with what you're fueling your body with. Think of your car. You're putting, the right type of gas in there. You're not adding water to it, right? You want it to burn efficiently. And the same thing is true for our body. In order for our bodies to burn efficiently, we need to really fuel it with good, wholesome food. And I know a lot of people think that it's too difficult, it's too challenging. And I get that because I had that same mindset that, oh my gosh, how can I really create these meals? It was taking me a long time. And then honestly, this food company that I partnered with, it made a world of difference. I can pull together and I teach people how to make meals really super simple, really super clean in like 20 or 30 minutes. And they're super nutritious. And that's what you want to do is figure out, how to eat and what to eat in order to, again, have the energy that we want. And then movement. I like to stay away from that word exercise because sometimes that gets a bad rap. But, if you just start moving a little bit more each and every day. And when I started, it was a little over a year ago. And I really wasn't moving too much too regularly. And I started with a 10-minute walk. And even that felt a little daunting at first. I was like, oh my gosh, I should be able to do 10 minutes. But it was a struggle to get up there and get on my treadmill and walk for 10 minutes. So, or, get outside. But that's where I recommend people start just simply moving. Now, it might be getting out and taking a walk. It might be dancing around the kitchen while you're cooking. It might be, playing actively with your children. It might be getting together with a friend. And very often, if you buddy up, it's going to be that much easier because I walk with a girlfriend of mine and we try to get together probably once every 2 weeks, but we can walk for well over an hour because we just start chatting away. And before you know it, so much time has gone by. But typically, I get outside for anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. But if you're not there, and I wasn't there, believe me, I didn't start there. I started with that 10 minutes. And then some days when I felt like, oh my gosh, I really don't want to walk, I tell myself, okay, you just have to walk for 10 minutes. That's it. Or, another great tip that I like to teach is YouTube is full of exercise videos, aerobic videos, and there's some that are geared for all ages, all abilities, beginner levels, even something like yoga. You might think that yoga is a simple exercise, but that can be a little strenuous. So start with, beginner yoga. You can even do chair exercises because not everybody that I work with is actually even able to get out and walk, due to their health challenges going on. But there are simple chair exercises just to start moving with some, leg lifts, some very light weights, even a 3 pound hand weight, using that to start is just where you want to start. And then we'll worry about building onto that. But I find that when people try to, do way too much, actually was just on a call with a woman the other day. She goes, yeah, I've got this great 40-minute workout that I'm going to start doing. I said, don't do it for 40 minutes. Like if you haven't been doing anything and you are trying to get in that whole 40 minutes, you might do it today because you're super excited. But tomorrow, when you want to do it again, you're going to think, oh, gosh, that was so hard. I said, just do it for 10 or 15 minutes and build up. And over the course of several weeks or a couple of months, you will be up to the 40 minutes. It'll feel comfortable. It can be a part of what you do every single day. So again, the three core components of my Ditch the Diet program is number one, mindset. And again, I have a lot of activities, tips that I teach people. Journaling is really effective. Using affirmations, listening to different podcasts. I love listening to podcasts for motivation, reading good books, all of that to get your mindset in the right place. And then two is really cleaning up your food, ditching that highly processed foods, really gearing it up to more. And I don't say completely eliminate, although I would like to be able to do that, but even I don't. There are days when I want to have a pizza. Yeah, I don't have it regularly, but once in a while, yeah, I'm going to have a pizza. We just went through the holidays. I had a few holiday cookies, but again, when those are just like treats and not like an everyday kind of thing, and people who feel like they just like crave sugars, it's true. If you eat sugars every day, added sugars, candies, that kind of thing, you're going to crave it more. And if you can get through the first 2, 3, 4 days, you are going to see that craving subsides significantly, and you're not going to really feel like you really need all that extra sugar. And then the fruits that you pick up are going to taste so super sweet. You'll be amazed at how, that really will satisfy that sweet tooth for you. So it's the mindset, it's the food, the clean food that we're eating, as well as some kind of movement. And again, start small. And as you build, you will find that movement becomes just a everyday need for you. You'll want to be out there moving because you know what? Sometimes we think, oh, I don't have the energy to do it. But if you just get up and start moving for 10 or 15 minutes, you will actually increase your energy and you'll have more energy. It's kind of crazy the way that works. We think that, we need to be motivated to do something, but that's not true. If we take the action first, the motivation will happen and things will start, coming together for you. I actually have a free coaching session that I am making available for anybody, and I would love to. As a matter of fact, I opened up my calendar for this afternoon and for part of the day tomorrow. Of course, Monday is a holiday, but I wanted to make sure that anybody watching this would have the opportunity to jump on a quick Zoom call with me. Let's look at what you're eating, how you're moving. What is your goal for 2024? How can I help you take some simple little steps to get there? So this is a complimentary call, and it is, you can go to ditchsession.com. That's DITCH session,
I love it.
SESSION.com, because we want to ditch the diet together, right? And find out what is not working for you. And again, like I said, it's about taking little steps. And if we can just get on that call, like I said, I've freed up my afternoon today and a few hours tomorrow afternoon for anybody who wants to jump on, because I don't want to have to wait till Tuesday. Let's start thinking about it today, because when it's fresh in your mind, that's the best time to take action right now and see what we can do together. So that really about
That's
wraps up
awesome.
what I wanted to share. Thank you, JB. And I hope each and every one of you will, click on that link and book a quick session with me, about 30 minutes to figure out what's going on.
Dara, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And for those of you out there who are watching this, remember, one of the things that I picked up from what Dara was saying is start small, right? You can't just jump into something full bore and expect to have that intention last long. So start small, use all three components if you're into a healthy lifestyle, and take the time to go and make that phone call for her, okay? It's your opportunity to change 2024 to your best. So thanks again, Dara. Really appreciate it. Awesome. Well, our next speaker is Nanette Newsful, and I want you to understand that you can go from vulnerability to unshakable trust. She's a keynote speaker, best-selling author, training organizations to create safer workplaces. She's a mental and emotional health coach, a communications expert. She's an inspired doctor, passionate about wellness, not only of her patients, but of her fellow team members. She's also always encouraging healthy living and is an inspiration of healthy living herself. So without further ado, let's introduce Nanette News. Dr. Nanette, how are you?
I am good, JB. Thank you so very much for that wonderful introduction. I'd like to ask our audience here, who's here today to set better goals for next year? If that's you, then put a yes in the chat. Yeah, raise your hand and put a yes. Put a yes in the comment. There you go. Who wants to create success? Put a yes in the comments. Raise your hand. And who here wants to know without a doubt that they can achieve their goals for next year? If that's you, put yes, yes, yes in that chat, in the comments. Because in a moment, I'm going to share with you the secret that allows your conscious mind to harness your unconscious mind to achieve your biggest and brightest goals. Like my client, Tina, who is an independent business owner, she was worried about not having enough clients and enough work to keep the lights on, to pay the rent. And after 2 sessions, she now has enough paying clients that she can't see them all in a 40-hour work week. Yeah, wow. So as
well,
JB
let's
said,
ask that question too. How many people would like to have so many clients that you can't see them all? Hey, right?
paying clients.
There we go. Yeah, that's right.
As JB said, I'm Nanette Nessel, and I would like to welcome you to Reflect for Success, Making the Most of Abundance Meditation. Can everyone see my screen? Okay, what we're going to be specifically talking about today is understanding the conscious mind and leveraging that interface between the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. First, I'd like to thank all of you for being here today. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day and giving us your attention. I'd like to thank Anshu. She puts together some of the most amazing people, does she not? And of course, I want to thank JB for being such a professional and expert host. As JB said, I am a board certified pediatrician. I have over 35 years experience on the front lines in healthcare. I achieved all of my goals in medicine, such as board certification, chairing a department, serving on the medical executive committee, and even owning my own practice. And then wanted to branch out and do more. And I became an executive healthcare coach, serving healthcare organizations, individual healthcare workers, and independent business owners like yourselves. Throughout today's summit, you're going to hear from several people. And forgive me if I look at my notes. Is that all right with everybody if I occasionally refer to my notes? Wonderful. Thank you. Throughout today's summit, you're going to hear from several people who will assist you in setting your best goals for 2024 so that you can achieve all your dreams. Making those dreams a reality involves 3 components: the conscious mind, the unconscious mind, and the integration between the two called the critical faculty. Each of these components plays its own unique role in achieving goals. The conscious mind speaks to you in specifics and details. It is detailed thought processes, thinking, and strategy. Its role in achieving goals is the goal setter. You consciously set your goals. Everybody's aware that you consciously choose what your goals are going to be, right? So you consciously set your goals. The unconscious mind speaks in the abstract. It is where you store emotions. It runs the body. It works in the background, troubleshooting and creating ways to make things happen. So your goal in achieving, its role in achieving goals is to be the goal getter. So the unconscious mind says, I don't understand all these details. You're too specific. Whereas the conscious mind is saying, you're too abstract. I don't get this. I need those details. And so what you're looking at is this area in here, the critical faculty, and this is where your intuition works. And this is where my company, Beat Down Burnout, does the majority of their work. So I just want to point out that your intuition is not the same as your critical faculty. So the critical faculty is this buffer zone between the two, and your intuition is like the runner that goes back and forth from one side to the other, translating. Your unconscious mind has something like 19 different prime directives, and I'm just going to cover a few. The main goal of your unconscious mind is to store memories. It organizes your memories in the way that best serves you. So a lot of you hear this, oh, it stores memories, and think, well, mine must not be working very well because I have trouble retrieving my memories. But the truth is that your unconscious mind works in a way to best serve you and stores and organizes your memories in a way that best serves you. It represses bad memories, negative memories, things like trauma, bullying, and failure, and attaches those to unresolved negative emotions. And those negative emotions are things like anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. It presents those memories, it takes those stored memories with the attached emotions, and it presents them to the conscious mind for release of the negative emotions. So it represses them for protection, and then at the right time, it presents them for releasing so that you can move forward. If your conscious mind chooses to ignore these memories when presented for release, you create and keep following patterns in your life. This is why my first 3 businesses failed. This is why I kept choosing the same type of boyfriend over and over again. Who sees patterns like this in your life? Anybody? Is it just me? I think we all, to some extent, do this. And when you can release yourself from those patterns, you release creativity to find new ways to resolve your issues and your problems. The role of your intuition. Now, it's that part of your, it is a part of your unconscious mind. Your unconscious mind consists of your inner child, your inner critic, your inner ego, and the intuition. It acts as a translator between the unconscious mind and the conscious mind. And Beat Down Burnout has meditations that allow you to utilize your intuition to speak to your conscious mind. During these meditations, you'll be asked to call out your intuition, and everyone's intuition appears differently to them. For some people, it's a person that they know. For some people, it's a person they don't know. For some people, it's an animal. However you picture your intuition is perfect for you. Why? Because it's part of the creativity of your unconscious mind. And getting new solutions for problems requires creativity. So how does this relate to setting and achieving goals? Well, you know what you currently have, right? We all know what we currently have. Your dreams and goals are what you want. During these meditations, your unconscious mind and your intuition will be directed to focus on what you want instead of what you have. And when you think that, what do you have? When you have that, what do you feel? When you feel that, what's going to be different in your life? And when you are that, what are the qualities and characteristics of your new self? You're creating all the details of achieving what your goal will be like. Your intuition then hands this information over to your conscious mind, and your conscious mind develops the strategies, plans, and details that then change your habits. And when you change your habits, you change your patterns. This is the one big piece that describes why many people don't actually achieve their goals. They aren't utilizing both the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. And a smaller caveat is how you visualize your dreams and goals. When you picture them, you need to be looking at them as if you're watching yourself in a movie or looking at yourself in a photograph. This tricks your unconscious mind into believing that your goal has already been achieved and that the steps toward achievement, the change in your habits, those are just a formality. So here's what I'm going to do for you guys today. I'm going to provide everyone here and anyone watching with a free meditation on achieving your goals in the future. And this meditation will help you set and achieve goals in all areas of your life. And you can set 1 week, 30-day, 3-month, and 6-month goals. We have members who do this every day, and they're setting goals in different areas of their life and for different time frames. And they'll go back and repeat the same ones over and over again for those goals that are really important to them. And we know this works because we have members who have taken their companies from making less than $3,000 a month and worrying about keeping the lights on to making over 7 figures in 6 months. Now,
Sign me up. Sign me up. Let's go.
Absolutely. I will put a link in the
Please.
comments on Facebook, and I'm gifting all of you. I can't guarantee anyone's success, of course. All I can do is give you the tools. What you do with those tools is up to you. But I'm gifting each of you an audio copy of this meditation, and you can listen to it on your phone first thing in the morning and last thing in the evening for the next 30 days. And then let me know what happens. DM me and let me know what shifts in your life. I'm also gifting you a vision session with me. And this is a 45-minute session where we talk about your goals and dreams for next year and what the hurdles are that have been holding you back, why you haven't already achieved these things. I'm Dr. Nan Nessel, and I'm here to help.
Nan, thank you so much. That was awesome. Being able to understand the differences between the conscious and unconscious mind is so important. And being able to understand that there's a way that you can utilize that to accomplish the goals that you have in your life. That's one of the biggest challenges that I think most people have, especially right now. They're setting up all of these, we can't even call them goals. They might be dreams because they don't know how to maneuver between the conscious and unconscious mind. So thank you very much for that gift, those gifts, absolutely, appreciate it. And everybody who's watching, take advantage of this time and opportunity, because this is the kind of information that you're just not going to get anyplace. So again, thank you, Dr. Nan, appreciate it.
You.
All right, our next speaker is Irina Portnova. She's an immigrant from the Ukraine and has been on a journey of self-discovery since moving to New York City in 1994. So after working in accounting, she realized her passion for helping others navigate daily life. She became a certified manifestation coach and has since become an international best-selling author and podcast host. She specializes in helping clients bridge the gap between where they are now and where they want to be, setting goals and holding them accountable. Irina believes in the power of individuals to overcome their circumstances and find meaning in life by lifting others up. Let's give a warm welcome to Irina Portnova. Irina.
Woohoo! Thank you so much, JB, for a beautiful introduction. Yeah, let's just shake it up a little bit. Let's put more energy into space, and let's just celebrate everybody who is here on the panel, as well as everybody, all the listeners, and everybody who's going to be watching the episode. I just want to salute and celebrate you for taking this day and taking the time for yourself. Because let me tell you, 2% of the people actually live in the life that they desire, because the rest of them, they just don't follow their hearts. And let me tell you, this is the road to take, because like I always say, the inner work is the most rigorous work, but it's the most rewarding work. JB, let's have the dialogue. I just love to bring you on board because I want you to be the voice of the audience, and let's just have fun. Woohoo!
Sounds like a plan. Okay.
So,
tell me, what do you do?
Yes,
what's going on?
So I just wanted to bring a little bit clarity in terms of the manifestation and law of attraction, because I know there are people who heard a lot about the law of attraction, but they don't really know how it works, or somebody just tries something and they were not successful, or maybe they haven't experienced the success that they truly desire. So I just want to bring some power and clarity to the people that it's the process. And nothing is happening overnight. Yes, it's beautiful. We can set our dreams. We can actually dream big without any limitations, but it's not everything what we have to do in this job, right? The most important thing is to have the vision, knowing exactly where we are going, because our energy loves the structure, because there is no wind in the favor to the sailor who doesn't have the destination. And a lot of people are going about the life. They just live the life by the default, meaning they allow the life to happen to them. And the point is that the most successful people actually design their life. They make a clear plan, what exactly they want to have. And they have these beautiful steps to know how to achieve them. JB.
So I have a question. So given that that's the case, you have a plan, but I kind of look at life and I say, it's kind of like when you're throwing a ball. You can control everything right up until the moment that you let the ball go. And after you let the ball go, you have no control over it. So how would you address that kind of thing, that there are certain things that happen outside of your control and yet still trying to get to that goal moving forward?
That's such a great question. And it's true, we cannot control everything what's going on in our life, but we can control how we react to everything what's going on in our life. And that's the beauty of this work, because when you understand that, the facts are there, meaning that, my bank account tells me this, my education tell me that, my age tell me X, Y, and Z. And then we look at all outside circumstances to decide what we can do. But the truth is that we are more powerful than we realize, because that there is that life force, there is that source, whatever we call it, creator, God, whatever we believe in, but there is a power that breathes in each one of us. And once we connect to that power, we understand that we are more than just the body. Because if I tell you just to think about it, there is a power that breathes in each one of us, because if we are going to set the alarm clock for tomorrow, but if that power is not going to breathe any life to us, you're not going to wake up with any alarm clock. So just think about it, that there is something there that regulates everything, and everything works in the mathematical precision in the universe. So JB, going back to your question, how can we be sure that when we set that vision that we actually could have it? And like I said, during that beautiful path that we are taking, we are gonna incur the fear, we are gonna incur the failure, because it's the part of the process. But rather than getting defeated, we become more empowered. We learn in the process of that journey that we can actually overcome anything. And that's the beauty of it. It's not only what we reach at the end when we have our dream or our vision, but who we become in the process, even more important. Because you realize that we can actually overcome anything. And that's exactly what that manifestation work is all about. We teach people to think from creative side of our brain, because all our life we were taught to use our analytical minds. The same as Nan was saying, we are also prone to use our logic. And anything that we are faced with or presented with, we always go to our logical mind, and we always go to our past experience. And obviously this is something that's gonna stop us and allow us to stay in our comfort zone, because we don't want to get hurt. We don't want to experience any uncomfortable things. We don't want to not go into the unknown. But the point is, the beauty lies when we cross that invisible line and just allow ourselves to explore and experience. And JB, it's not even the question if we are going to have exactly what we want. It's 100,000% that we can have it. But the only thing, people give up too fast. People don't have the resilience. People don't have the persistency. People don't have that trust in the process. And that's exactly what all of us are doing here in this space, right? We are helping people to take the system that actually works, to have the structure of support that they require in order to actually break through and break from their old habits and patterns and step into that zone of genius that we all have, and just become exactly the best versions of themselves.
So I have a question for you now. Given that what you were talking about, that people don't have necessarily have the persistence to go through those things, would you say that it's like, if you're not experiencing the stumbles, the falls, then you're not doing it right?
I would say correct. You are 100% right, because just think about it. You are going through the path that there is no, step one through thousands, right? So basically what it is in this work, all you have to do is to know the next step. But we sometimes so caught up, give me the entire plan. And then I'll decide if I'm going to go or not. But the beauty
Mm.
is once you make a decision to go after something that you truly desire, because this is something that's going to drive you, because in this beautiful work, you're going to discover step after step after step. So the only thing you have to know is the next step, because once you take that step, the next step is going to reveal. And how are you going to find that step? That's exactly what I help people to tap in.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there seems to be a theme here, right? That you got to take small incremental steps in order for you to achieve your goals. And without those small incremental steps, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, dietary activities, we all have to take those steps one at a time and expect yourself, right, that you're going to stumble, but go inside yourself because that's where your power is. Is that what I understand?
That's completely beautiful. JP, you're the best student. You just put everything together the way it is. And that's how it is in this work. People think that, like 3 months they work and they want to see the miracles. But I say, we are sitting with these programs, as Nan was saying, our unconscious. It's just like our operating system. We have all these programs that's stored already. We are not destined, but we are programmed. And the thing is to reprogram our mind. And we work with our brain muscle the same way as we would work with our physical body, because we know that after 3 months of dedication to the gym, we still can't have the perfect body. It's going to take much longer. So people, for some reason, don't relate when it comes to work with our brain muscle, but it works exactly the same way.
That's awesome. I love that. We're not destined, right? You're
We are
choosing.
just programmed, yes. And
Programmed
it's
to
all
move
about
forward.
let's just upgrade our program and let's operate from a different frequency. And that's exactly how everything is going to come and be there for us in the real world.
That's awesome. So let's ask this question. How can people get in touch with you? How can they take advantage of this unique experience that you have and be able to implement some of these concepts that you've talked about today?
That's such a great question. I have a beautiful workshop where people come and I unpack, what exactly the law of attraction, why it's not working for a lot of people, the reasons, and we are going to do the life assessment where we take you through all the areas of your life, because let's face, we all create the results and each one of us has the results in our life. And some of them you like, some of them not so much, but you'll have a chance to look at your results and I'll share with you the results formula that works and you understand the connection, what this is all about. And people will be able to create their vision for 2024. And it's a beautiful space to get to know each other, to be with the like-minded people, because understand that in the real life, when you do this kind of work, people look at you like you have three eyes, right? Because your surroundings is not going after something you are going, because everybody is like operating in 3D reality. That's why it's so important to find that community, to find these like-minded people who are there for you, who are rooting for you and believe in you, because it's very difficult to do it on your own. That's why I invite everybody to attend my workshop. There is nothing to lose, but lots to gain. And you're going to have more clarity exactly where you're going. And you have more confidence that this is really working, because this works if we work on it. It's just like energy works, right? Anything, like just think, if you're going to be learning how to swim or learning the new instrument, it's going to take time before you become that expert. So the same thing, where you put your energy, that's exactly what you're going to be producing your results. So if you put more energy into worries, you're going to create more worrying situations for yourself. If you put more energy into trust and just let me see what is out there, so that we have to be more specific in what we want. And rather than saying the life is happening to me, understand that life is happening through me and for me. And we just learn how to ask the right questions, right? Rather than saying, why did it happen to me? And go about it and round about it and tell everybody, look what happened to me. And sit in that victimized, like energy. We are going to go, why is this situation was given to me? What is the lesson for me to learn? So we are coming from a different energy. We are putting ourselves on a higher frequency. And obviously we are going to have a better solutions for exactly the questions that we are asking.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, Irina. This has been amazing. I want to remind everybody who's watching right now that we're going to have a little Q&A at the end. So please hang in there. Everybody's gonna stay, and we'll answer any questions that you might have and repeat some of the offers that have been made to you. So again, Irina, thank you very much. That was awesome.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much. And I just wanted to wish you everybody 2024 is a powerful year. It's in numerology number 8, which is abundance. So please just do work on yourself, because you'll see how your life is going to change. Don't allow the life to happen to you. Live with that. Have the life been with you, through you, and for you. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. That's great. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is kind of turn the stage over to Rachel Rose. Rachel is a certified relationship and boundaries coach. She's a Reiki master. She's a shamanic and alchemy practitioner. I'm really intrigued about that. Rachel is currently studying for a master's degree in neuroscience and psychology to further enhance her understanding of the human mind and better support her clients on their path to finding their partner in crime. So with fondness in my heart, I'm really excited to hear Rachel Rose. Rachel, welcome.
Hi, I should have added in my bio. She also has an awful English accent. So, you know, if there's
Okay,
any...
you're done. You're done. That's it. We don't do that. No. This is wonderful. Thank you, Rachel.
Hi, it's so good to be here. I honestly am so honored to be amongst such high vibrational speakers. You know, as we've gone on, it feels like the schedule that we've got is perfectly aligned. Everyone kind of really neatly leads into each other, and I love that I've got a fellow European, Irina. So yeah, I hope to match that energy and talk about my niche a little bit. It's very different from what everyone is talking about, but also very intrinsically linked. I love how we all have in common, you know, that decision to make a change. And that's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about how to become a vibrational match for love in 2024. Just piggybacking, you know, off that comment about 2024 being a really important year. It really is, you know. I won't go too much into the planet movements, but it is, you know, when you do look into it, there are certain movements going on that haven't been present since, for example, the French Revolution. And we know how long ago that was, and we know how big that was for the world. So it's on that kind of theme of huge change. And this is our time to really just jump on that and make next year the catalyst for a lot of change that we want to make in lots of different areas in our lives.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, there's a lot to unpack there. So
Yeah.
I love the focus that you have. So let's dive deep into what that looks like for you, Rachel.
Yes, sure. So I have some slides to share with you. So bear with me a second. Right. So can you all see that first of all?
Not yet. There we go. Starting up now.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So as I mentioned, so I'm a relationship and boundaries coach, Reiki master. So Reiki is an ancient energy healing modality, which comes from Japan. And it's very much about aligning your chakras and helping you channel that universal life force energy, which is very natural. We can find it wherever we are, and helping you just channel that through your body so you can realign yourself, you can find peace. It really helps alleviate emotional distress, any kind of spiritual imbalance, and my shamanic healing practice as well really helps with that. So I like to say Reiki is more of a feminine energy in terms of healing, and shamanic work is I would say fire if I had to pick an element, because it's going straight to the root in terms of trauma. It's looking at past life issues and really helping to heal that at the root so things don't reoccur. So that's the base of my work. I like to really combine clinical psychology, energy psychology, and any kind of spiritual practices that we used in ancient times in my work, because I feel like we need it all. We can't just go against what science has told us. We are spiritual beings. A lot, unfortunately, of our ancient practices have been forgotten, but it looks like we're slowly remembering these, right? Particularly as women, you know, I mainly teach women, but for anyone who feels like they resonate with my work, you know, regardless of what gender you identify with, please get in contact because I'd love to speak to you. But particularly women, you know, we do have this natural intuitive talent, and it's just about tapping into that to really help manifest whatever it is that you want, but in my case, particularly love. So let's move on. Okay, everything's working technology-wise. I'm very happy because it is Mercury retrograde as well, which isn't good. So let's talk about your relationship with love. So I feel this sentence, a lot of people will feel like this makes no sense. Like it's a bit of a trick question. What is your relationship with love? And unless you have a very healthy relationship with love, you can't really attract the kind of healthy love that you want. So the reason why this is my particular specialty is I didn't have the best examples of love growing up. Like, not at all. I'm really humble about it, but I really didn't. So I was raised by a single mother, single immigrant mother. And she co-parented with my father, who left our house when I was 4 years old. So one, I'm already seeing that, okay, I've witnessed a broken home. Two, I had a sibling that was very emotionally detached because he had his own issues going on. So again, a second example of what my relationship with men is going to look like: emotionally detached, emotionally unavailable, and me very much begging for attention. I always wanted my brother's attention, but he had so much going on. And then, unfortunately, I was assaulted at a very young age. So again, another bruising in terms of how close can I get to men? How safe is it to really embrace people and, be vulnerable with them? Like, if I get too vulnerable, am I going to be hurt? So all of these things really did build up over time. And by the time I reached adulthood, I very much had to look at what was going on, because I was automatically a magnet for narcissists. Oh, they loved me. I was like, it was like bees to honey, basically, because, no matter how pretty you are, no matter how successful you are, because I was a very high achieving young woman, even back then. I wanted the top grades. Like, I really wanted to succeed in corporate world. And I used studying as a way to self-soothe. Like, okay, if I just focus on studying, I can disassociate from a lot of the void and a lot of the emotional gaps that I have. And that's just going to fuel me, because I know I'm going to get that instant gratification by getting the high grades or getting a well-paid job. But, as all of you, I'm sure, know, like, when you try and hide from your shadow, you try to run from your shadow, it gets bigger. And the universe throws things into your life that really make you pay attention to things that you really need to focus on and heal. So it got to a point where I was attracting emotionally very dangerous men. There was a point, I think, just before I was, officially adult internationally. I think 21 is like the international adult age. I remember seeing someone who I would never even think of, or even I don't feel like I would attract at this point in my life. But they had put a gun to my head, and I didn't live in a dangerous area. It was just, I was such a magnet for that. I was such a magnet for chaos when it came to love, because that was what I was used to. I grew up watching male, like, cousins of mine, like, objectify women on a daily basis. It just looked normal. The dynamic between men and women was very much a man is up here and a woman is down here, and it's our job to work for that affection, to earn that kind of love. And so I had to make a decision, because it wasn't working for me, to be honest. I had to ask myself, what am I going to do to change this for myself? How am I going to revolutionize the relationship I have, not only with myself, but with men in general? And how am I going to make love work for me? So it took a long time. The other day I was reflecting on my soul journey, and it's been about just over 10 years now. I know I look younger than I am, but I'm a mature cheese, let's say, or a mature wine. So it's been over 10 years since I really started really healing myself, looking into spiritual work. And as some of you may be able to resonate, once you meet that first person, that first healer or first coach, it's just like windfall from there, when it's your divine time to start your healing work. So that's what happened. And that's what's led me to really bring all of those teachings in and help women just cut down the time. It doesn't need to take you a decade to heal from that. And also show them that no matter what kind of background you came from, like, I know I've had quite a dramatic childhood, and not everyone has had that. And then there are other people who've had an even more traumatic childhood. Regardless of how you grew up, race, age, whatever, everyone is worthy of having divine, genuine love. However, it's not in the way that you think. It's not all just spiritual, and it's not all just clinical, but it's an immersion of both of them. And you really need to have a plan in order to do this. So hopefully in this time together, we can talk about some of the key things that you can do in 2024 to help move you in that direction and just revolutionize love for you. Because as many of the speakers here today have talked about, it's all about deciding what's worth deciding on what you deserve and deciding what you are worth and what you get to have. That's all it is. It's just a decision, and not giving up, not saying, oh, someone ghosted me, I'm over it. No. Be in it for the long game, because you're worth it. Bet on yourself the way that you bet on yourself if it was a business coach, or the way you bet on yourself if it's the lottery. You don't think twice about that. You just think, right, I'm sure I'll win $1 million. So it's exactly the same kind of gusto you've got to have with love, and if you really want to see results. Okie doke. So let's move on. So, unpopular opinion. Whenever I say this, people cringe, and I'll tell you why this is absolutely spot on. So love and money are intrinsically linked, right? There is this notion that money is this ugly thing. Money is just an energy, and love is just an energy. So you really can't have one without the other, and I'll tell you why. So money, if you think about money, if you think about your relationship with money started when you were a child, okay? And most of us, we're children. Money is used as this transactional thing in a way. We see how much our parents give us and are able to provide for us through money, obviously, because it's a resource. And we do measure that as, oh, my mom really cares about me, or my dad really cares about me because they're able to provide this, and that, etc. And if we have an unhealthy relationship with money, perhaps we're seeing, okay, money is hard. I have to work hard for money. If I act a certain way and I'm appreciated a certain way, then I get to have money. It's exactly the same with love. And in fact, when you are healing your money wounds, you actually are healing your love wounds and vice versa. Money is something that, as hopefully many of you understand, is an abundant resource. Anyone can have it. It's a decision that you get to have it. There's so much to go around. Anyone who hasn't been exposed to that has these core beliefs that it's not available for them for whatever kind of situation they're in. Some people are in some very unfortunate situations, and that is the core belief that has been developed due to their circumstances. But if you know that you're not in a position where you have to continue to believe this, then you get to change the way both money and love get to work for you. So love is just as unlimited as money. It's not a case of all of my friends and family get to have love and I don't. That doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense at all. You are made out of love. You are love. Love is such a high vibration. Love is available to you at any time, at any point. So getting that mindset is really, really important, and treating it as something that gives you something back as well. Treating it as a currency is really important. You need to understand why we have love, why we love, and why it's so important to allow that flow of love, giving people love and receiving love. So many of us find it so hard to receive a small compliment. That's a block. If you can't receive compliments, imagine you're definitely not going to have a smooth ride accepting money either, because it's all about receiving. It's all about what you think you are worthy of having. Okay. So let's look at the first mindset shift here. So like I said, I work with women, 98%. I do have the anomaly here and there, but it's 98% women. So keep that in mind when I'm talking about this. So the mindset shift. So many women, daily basis. I'm too busy for love. I've got my business, I've got my corporate job, I've got this, I've got kids, I've got that. We're all busy. We're all busy. And I feel another common thing with the busyness is that the women that are there and they're deciding, okay, I am going to be able to attract this particular type of person, they're saying that their busy schedule is hindering them from having a established relationship, right? So in their case, potential partners are losing interest because they don't have time, because they're flying around and being the boss woman that they are. But there is a way to change your busy schedule into something that is going to be a superpower, something that a lot of women that perhaps your potential partners are not actually doing, or they're not able to use in a specific way. So you can use your busy schedule and your success as your superpower by using it to create a little bit of mystery. So if you're not physically there continuously, use it as a mystery device. Just send them pictures of where you are, include them in your day, ask them about what you should wear to a specific speaking event that you're going to. Create that sexual tension. There's nothing wrong with sexual tension when you're dating again. That's another taboo that we need to just get rid of. We need sexual tension in dating. We need to know if there's chemistry or not. It's important. We are not going to be this woman in 2024 pushing down our passions because we think we should be the good girls, only looking for the good guys. Sex is just as important as emotional security and all of that kind of jazz. Okay. So you can use that mystery. You can tempt and tease and be like, oh, can't wait to see you, or should I wear this for our next meeting? That is really sexy. That's really sexy to potential partners because they know that you're not losing interest. And yes, your work is important, but it's not more important than establishing their relationship with you. People don't want to invest in things if they don't think the other person is really into it as well. So just think about that. Think about your own personal situations. How can you play around with that? How can you incorporate all the senses as well, just to create that mystery and, that suspense, that when you do meet them, they can't wait to meet you. In fact, they look forward to that space between you because you not only get to be individuals, but you also get to create that excitement, which is so important in the honeymoon phase when you're getting to know someone for the first time. So that's mindset shift one. Mindset shift two, right? This is another one I hear all the time. Oh, there's no one available now. Everyone's married, dead, or doesn't like women, or I've heard it all. I've really heard it all. So or it's my specific city or anything like that. And I just want to say, first of all, we really need to be careful about the kind of conversations that we're in and the kind of truths that we're perpetuating on a daily basis. Particularly for women, it's really easy and really tempting to be in a group of women and be like, yeah, I agree, you know, all men are this or that. And what you're doing is, as a group of women, you're multiplying that vibration of, oh, everyone is unavailable for me. And great, you might be really popular within that group of people, but when you walk away, you've decided with the universe, actually, you know, don't let anyone come near me because I believe this is not possible for me. The universe can't override your free will. If you don't think it's possible for you, it will say, oh, do you know what? You're right. I won't give you anyone that is going to be a true alignment for you. So instead, it's about taking responsibility for our own vibration. You know, what is it in our vibration that attracts the wrong kind of people? What is it in our vibration, for example, that attracts people that make us feel like we're dating down? You know, so many women that I work with, they're like, oh, I just want someone who's on my level. Okay, so what is it in your vibration that needs shifting to bring in those kind of people? Because there must be a belief there that you don't get to have those type of people. What is it? Where does it come from? And how do we get rid of it? How do we get rid of it like the plague? Because unless you do, we're just going to, as it's been said already in this talk, you know, we're just going to repeat those patterns over and over and over again until we learn what it is that needs to be shifted. And number 3, you know, winging it in love. I don't know if this is an American saying. Do you guys say winging it? Like, what I mean is I'm just like, you're just being spontaneous and throwing things into the air. I think you guys say throw spaghetti on the wall or something like that and see if it sticks. Something
from
similar.
a business side, we talk about that all the time.
Yeah,
From a business strategy side, right? Yeah, exactly.
exactly. I was like, one of these examples will make sense to the Americans.
Right,
But
right.
just not bothering about having a plan, you know, and hoping for the best. And you know, that hope is tainted because, again, as I've been saying, there's this core belief in the back of our minds like, oh well, we'll just try it, but it's probably not going to work. And every goal that we have, every single goal that we have needs a strategy. And strategies can be as complex as they need to be. They could be super complex, they could be very simple, but everything needs a plan. Nothing that we want to manifest into this world without intention is going to be able to happen. We need our energy behind it. We need our belief that we can have it. And we need the practical plan to actually go ahead and make that a reality. Now, people think with love, oh, it's a bit difficult that because you're dealing with other people. It's actually a lot easier than you think. You know, once you understand people, once you take the time to understand psychology so much more, you know, the mind is an incredible thing. And it's something that is your best friend if you learn how to work with it rather than against it. If you learn how to show compassion for your fellow human being, if you learn how to show love in a way that is, you know, goes beyond societal standards of having a tick box for someone, then you can really fall in love with the soul of a person and put that into your strategy in a way that you are just emanating love and therefore not only attracting people, but you have a plan to attract the right kind of person for you. And finally, like, decide you're worth it. Like I was saying, you know, when it comes to lottery, when that jackpot is 23 million pounds or euros or dollars, you don't even think twice. You think, oh yeah, well, I'm worth it. It's about time I got that money. So what is it with love that is that blocker for you? You know, what is stopping you from deciding that you're worth it? And so what I would love to offer you is, I'm so happy my slides are working. Yes. What I would like to offer you is a free soulmate strategy course. This is a 45-minute call. And it's 45 minutes because not sure if you've noticed, but I do have a lot of words to say. I am a big talker, but also because I want to allow you to have that space to really think about the questions that I'm going to be asking you on the call. So we're really going to be looking at what has been holding you back so far, and ultimately, what do you want? You can't bring into reality anything unless you're really clear. You know, you're really clear on what your values are and you're crystal clear on what it is that you want to bring. And again, particularly for women, we get wrapped up in guilt, shame. Oh, I can't really ask the universe for someone hot because that is superficial. But if you want physical attraction to be one of these elements of the person you want to attract, what's the problem? You know, where have you been told, or where is it in your psyche that you believe that that's wrong? You know, I really admire men in the way that a man will just be like, I want this, and I want that, and I want that. You know, a man, for example, in a job, won't think twice about applying for a job that he only has 20% of the requirements for. Like, ladies, this is the time where we emanate a man's confidence and we walk through and we're like, well, actually, me too. I do deserve someone who has all of these things ticked. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And we're really going to close the gap on some of the very obvious things that are really a bit of an ache for you. So things like, you know, the ghosting or people pleasing. These are very easily fixed things once we just dissect where things have come from and how we can shift them in very bite-sizable goals and objectives that you can do as of tomorrow. You can do today even. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to have done a special course. You have all the power already. You possess everything to make this a reality for yourself.
That's
Also,
awesome.
yeah, exactly. And you also do get from me a free training on balancing love on a busy schedule, because as I said, that is a huge one. So I'll drop the link for that as well in Facebook. And yeah, I look forward to speaking to all of you. You know, 2024 is the year to make it all happen. So I can't wait to meet you, and I can't wait for you to start attracting those really high quality partners that you know you deserve.
I love it. Thank you, Rachel. Wow, this was awesome.
Thank you.
So everybody, take advantage of that soulmate strategy call. Please, please, please. This is something that's really important. We talked about it. This is the year of abundance in 2024. So what could be better than having a soulmate in 2024? Take
Right.
advantage. Give Rachel a call. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it.
Thank you all.
So now what I'd like to do is introduce our next speaker. Julio Lagan is an author, speaker, a mindset coach for high achievers, both workers and entrepreneurs. He helps them break through their limiting beliefs and stress to get them into the next level. Now, Julio's journey is really interesting. From farmland to coaching and speaking it's very, very inspirational. His creative thinking and passionate and empowering presence will make you think outside the box when he speaks and coaches. And without further ado, let's introduce my buddy, Julio. How you doing, man?
Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, GB. And for all my fellow GST community here, and to those who are watching live, and to those who will watch for the replay, good day, everyone. What an incredible speakers we have, right? And I could sum up that into you can be what you want to be. You can do anything what you wanted to do, and you can have everything in life unless you have to keep working for it and don't give up.
Right.
Now, how many of you here have some New Year's resolution or some rituals during New Year? Can you type in the chat?
Yep.
Yes, yes, awesome. Great. Yes, and on the first day, people are so excited, right? And me as well before. And I remember during my childhood, my father didn't clean on the first day and our surroundings. And you know what? It's the only day he cleaned the entire year. What if I told you it's because many people give up, as our previous speakers thought? And according to Stanton University, 92% didn't achieve their goals. My father was one as well, my late father. And for me as well before, I was into this personal development industry. And what if I told you the problem is just very simple? And it takes us 3 simple steps that I want to share with you today. And the first step is know your why. What's your leverage? Why you do the things you do? What makes you wake up every day? What makes you wake up like me here? It's 1 a.m. in the morning. And that's born out into my purpose in life. My purpose was reignited in Malaysia in 2012. I served there for 2 years in a community, but it went off after that. In 2018, I have an opportunity in Japan. I work and I help more people again. But my life was stuck. I lost my job 3 times because of my negative thinking pattern at that time, I went into depression. Even I feel suicidal thoughts. And that's what experience made me reflect on. There are many limiting beliefs that re-emerged during that time. And that's what made me never achieve my goal. And I found my way back into personal development through Tony Robbins and many others, and I immersed myself into the study of neuroscience and quantum recoding. I got my master NLP, coach and practitioner, also timeline therapy and hypnotherapy. I discovered that my subconscious mind having this self-sabotaging pattern that I never thought it existed or I have. And at first, I don't want to share this publicly because for the sake of my mother. And because this story is very crucial, especially when we deal with our mindset and behavioral patterns for us to understand each other and make adjustment or change. I am the 9th child. And when my mother was pregnant of me, she jumped off a small cliff. And what was amazing that night was he dreamed of me crying and telling her, please don't give up on me, Mom. But actually, I'm just having a monkey DNA. So I was able to hold on tightly. And that experience, my subconscious mind created a meaning of feeling unwanted and unloved. Again, this is not because I love my mother even more after I heard the story, because I stand on her point that if I am her, I would stop at the number 4. And this doesn't mean that I don't love my 5th sibling until the 10th. Yes, I still have one after me. And this pattern keeps repeating and repeating throughout my life. Being a high achiever, I never thought that it was directly connected to this pattern of feeling unwanted and unloved, because that's the only way we can get love and recognition to achieve these things. And again, in my job, my subconscious mind self-sabotage because it was not aligned with my purpose. And my purpose here is, here I am speaking with you today in this coaching and speaking industry. And it goes back to crafting your 7 levels of deep emotional why. And that is my first reason why. That dream night with my mother was the first call that I never paid attention my entire life. There are many calls after that that I never paid attention. And right now, I'm fully into this. And the next thing is for my future family not to experience the same as what I had experienced, especially in these mindset patterns, because we inherit some of these patterns from the past. And we have the chance to cut this pattern in our generation today, and we have this information and knowledge. And comes to the third reason of mine is to give them freedom and choices. I don't want to dig down into the 7 because we have a limited time. So craft your 7 levels of emotional one. Some even reach 100 or 200. If you can do that, then that's great. And the second step is the what, the mindset change. The 80%, we need a mindset change, and 20% strategy. Because everything happens twice, first in the mind and then in reality. Because the words have spell, right? That's why it's called spelling. And these limiting belief patterns, like the famous one, I can't, I am not, and these other patterns. Have you ever heard of being called that you are a great progeny of your great-grandfather? Because we are coded, we are programmed, and it is in our DNA. The other patterns, 3.2 billion liters from our father, 3.2 billion liters from our mother. And our parents as well, are product of our parents. That's why we are genetically chained, these patterns. And from 0 to 7 years old, these are the implanting years in which we are programmed by the people surrounding us. And it is proven by science that in 1 yes, a child hears 17 no's. So let's just say in a day, a child hears 20 yes. That's an incredible 340 no's within a day and within a year. That's too much. Then we know a child remembers things, right? And that programmed us into some of our limiting beliefs that keep us away from reaching our goals. And from 7 to 14 years old, these are the modeling years. And so 14 years old until now, we get it from socializing and your favorite, Netflix.
Yeah. I have a
And the
question,
third
Julio.
step, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I have a question. So you've talked about all these individual steps relatively thoroughly. So the question is, if you could summarize the top 3 or 4 things that get you out of the programming and into the activity, what would they be?
Yeah, thank you for that question. The top 3 thing we can do is to first remove this limiting belief, dig down into your past experiences. And then, because these patterns are what make you believe that it is true, because the evidences that you experience, that we experience, is make us believe that it is true. And the next thing is we rewrite our own story or change the meaning of that experience, that bad experience. We change that into an empowering meaning, and then create it into a habit. And that's what is my third step into creating an empowering alternative and maintain it, just like a garden. And I have 5 steps for this creating and maintaining it. I just summarize because I don't have time. So just like a garden, right? You all can imagine that if there's a tree or grasses in your backyard and you want to convert it into a new garden for your New Year's resolution or this belief patterns, this tree represents, this grass represents our limiting beliefs. So we need to pull it out and then plant second, plant or create your new habit or whatever you wanted to change. And then the third is nurture it into 30-day for habit forming. And it is proven by NASA that it takes 30 days to form a habit. And the fourth is make it fun, easy, and pleasurable. And of course, reward yourself, because that's what keeps you motivated and do more and more. And the fifth one is frequent maintenance. Of course, the garden can never exist there for a long time beautifully if there's no maintenance. And if you want to dig deep, I have this in my freebie. So just download it and join in my FB group that I will put in the link later, because my website is under maintenance, and book a free mindset strategy call, and let's dig deeper into what are the mindset patterns that are holding you back from reaching this New Year's resolution. Yeah, and imagine as the sun rises, imagine we are now in 2024, December 31st. As the sun rises in the year 2025, imagine what your life looks like, feels like, and sounds like when you are free of these limiting beliefs and you achieve your goals. And of course, provided that you do everything and you never give up. You can do it. Thank you, everyone.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Julio. Appreciate it. So again, I want to remind everybody who's listening that they should pay attention to the end, because we'll have a Q&A session, and we'll also let people understand and know that they can have certain links to log in and get these free offers that our speakers are providing to you today. So anyway, thank you so much, Julio, again. Our next speaker is Tracy Brinkman. He is a host of a top-ranked podcast. It's for hardworking parents seeking to get into side hustles and yearning for freedom and fulfillment in the digital nomad life. So dive into the world of side hustles and digital marketing strategies. Tracy is also a business and success coach that realizes life isn't fair and participation awards do not feed your family. Amen, brother. This driven dark horse entrepreneur is looking to share all that he has learned and is still learning about starting, restarting, kickstarting, and stepping up your entrepreneurial game, all while not ignoring that amazing tool between your ears. And I'd like to remember and introduce our great speaker, Tracy Brinkman. Tracy, welcome.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the time and everyone's attention. Whew, you know what? I'm gonna have to live up to that introduction. I wanted to take the time. Obviously, since our topic here today is about New Year's resolutions, and it's funny is I look at New Year's resolutions as goals, much like I'm sure many of us here listening today do, because really it's just goal setting. We just happen to call it something a little different because it happens on the 1st of January. And way back in the 90s, when I first started doing coaching, oh my God, I just dated myself, but I think my beard kind of dates me too, much like our host and his awesome gray hair, right? But in the first book I wrote way when called Your Success Atlas, I put in a goal setting process. And back then it was called the chart process, CHART. And since then I've updated it. You can thank Steve Jobs and Apple for this. And it's now called the eye chart process. And it's not like we're going to go to the ophthalmologist and get our new glasses. It's just like, iPhone, iTunes, and everything else. It becomes the eye chart. And because we do have our limited time, I'm going to give you the letters first, and we'll start digging into each one differently or separately so that we can find out as much as we can in the next 14 or so minutes. So the eye chart is to ideate or imagine, right? And then we're going to choose, and then we're going to help, and then we're going to take action, then we're going to review, and then this is the almost all too important one. We're going to have the tenacity and realize that stuff just takes time. right? It's not going to happen overnight, because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, and we know that. So let's go back up to the very beginning here and go back to our I for ideate and to imagine. And I use what I call the Vista vision. So if you take a moment, and you're welcome to close your eyes, because I'm going to assume that none of you are driving right now, and you imagine yourself sitting up high on a vista, looking down over your future life. What is it that you want for your future life? Whether that is an amazing spouse, a big family, a big house, a horse ranch, that unreachable car, the amazing business, whatever it is, you sit up there on that vista and you look down as if it's already there, right? How does it smell? How does it feel? How do you feel? Right? And then you could actually project yourself down from that vista and maybe walk right into that life. Step into that house that you currently are dreaming about. Maybe it's a house you have and you want to do some remodeling. I don't know what it is for you, but start walking through that house right now and just kind of look around. What is on the walls? How have you decorated it? Is there a fireplace? Is there a dog? Is there a pool out back? Are you in the city? Are you out in the forest? And smell it. Can you smell the dinner cooking? Yeah. What you want to do as part of this ideation is really feel and engage all of your senses as a part of this goal setting process, setting this resolution. Because here's what I believe, ladies and gentlemen. My maker, and whoever you may believe in, God, Allah, Buddha, Mother Nature, the infinite universe, my maker wouldn't enable me the ability to imagine something that I couldn't attain. Now, mind you, I might have to work my hiney off to get it, but if I can imagine it, it's attainable for me. That's my innermost belief. And I think for folks that would be attending an event like this, you probably believe something very similar. So now you've got this picture of what it is. That's where I want to be. That right there, that relationship, that house, that job, that business, whatever it is. And now you start choosing the goals that are going to get you from where you are today to that vision. That becomes your glide path. You're going to start feeling a trend of maybe piloting in this. I'm not a pilot. I used to jump out of planes. Maybe that's where it came from. I don't know. So in the next part of the choosing of the goals that you're going to go through, I want you to go through what I call a milieu check. And it's a French word. And it kind of helps you narrow down the goals that you probably shouldn't go after. And so many times I think people miss this one all too important piece, because as you're picking your goals, right? I want to be a millionaire. I want to have this. I want to have that. Sometimes today isn't the right time to go after that goal. And that's where we kind of stumble, bumble, and face plant and pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off and go, all right, well, maybe I wasn't supposed to have that in the first place. And I think if you go through this series of questions I'm already lay out here for you, it may save you some time. And when I say save you some time, I'm not saying scrap the goal, wrinkle it up and throw it in the trash. I'm saying maybe today is not the time to go after that goal. And some of these questions may answer the question of, is it even my goal in the first place? Because that's the first thing you need to ask yourself. Is this really my goal? Or have I been programmed with a goal by my parents, my peers, my siblings, whatever, social media, who cares? That they're saying you need to have that house, you need to have that car, you need to have that much money in your bank account, when you really like, I could give a damn less, right? So that's the first question you need to ask yourself. Is this my goal? And these are yes or no questions. These are not, well, maybe, sort of, kind of. If you can't say yes to that, then it's a no-go. And just like I said before, this is a whole pilot checklist. All right, go, no go. We're going to use I think our previous speaker referenced NASA. Imagine yourself, you're Capcom, and you're sitting in Mission Central, and you're going, all right, we're going flight, fuel check. You're going across all the major systems, and they're going go, no go. And if someone said no go, guess what? Right then and there, the mission is scrapped until they can resolve that problem, because they don't want to kill any astronauts or waste billions of dollars. So first question, is this my goal? Next question, can I see myself reaching this goal? Well, if you went through the Vista Vision process we just discussed, you kind of know the answer to that, because you can feel yourself, you can envision yourself in that goal. So that should be a good one. Here's the next one. When I reach this goal, will my life be in balance? Oh my goodness, this is far too important to skip. How many times have we seen someone going after a goal so strong? Maybe it's a business goal, maybe it's a monetary goal. In the meantime, their relationships are going to crap. Just flushing them right down the toilet. You feel me? Yeah, I've been there, right? Okay. So the next one after that is this goal along the current flight path of my other goals? If you set yourself up with the goal of, I'm going to be an amazing father, right? And then all of a sudden you set yourself up with a goal that's going to peel away that ability to be that amazing father, then those two goals are separate from one another. You either have to put this other goal up on the shelf or figure out a way to make these two interconnect, balance them out, okay? And the next major one is, will the work needed for this goal be morally right and fair for me and my crew? And we'll talk about crew here in a second. We're halfway through my time already. So if what it is you need to do to reach that goal is morally questionable, it's not time for that goal. Do not chip away at your integrity even a little bit, okay? Now, the rest of the questions, I'll kind of rifle them off real fast for you, and hopefully you guys will get access to a replay so you can listen to these. But here we go. The next ones, these are again, yes or no. Is it going to make me happier? Is it going to make me healthier? Will it help me find more friends? Will it give me peace of mind? Will it improve my relationships? Will it increase my hope for tomorrow? Will it help me become more self-assured? And will it help me become more financially secure? If it doesn't do all of those, do not start that goal today. Please, ladies and gentlemen, do not go after that goal because it's not the right time for you. Okay. Again, I'm not saying you need to scrap it all together, but maybe you just kind of put it on the shelf right over here and you look at it again in a couple of months, maybe the same time next year. Okay. Go through all of those as part of your choosing the goals process. Now, in the H, we have help. And you're going to have two crews. If I use the whole flight path analogy here, you're going to have a want-to crew and a can't-do crew. I think the can't-do crew is kind of self-explanatory. All those people that says, you can't do this, you can't do that. And sometimes those can't-do crew members are people in your personal life, people that you love and you trust. And more often than not, they're saying these things because they love you. They don't want you to feel the pain of failure and go through the work and see you not get the results you want. But if you went through your checklist and you're like, man, it's all good, I can do this. Okay, give them a listen and then say, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate your insights, but I know I can do this. I've checked all the checks. Tracy told me if all these say yes, then go for it. So I'm going to go for it. Now, your who on to crew, this comes to me from Benjamin Franklin, one of the founders of the United States here. And way back when, he formed a crew of, I believe it was like 6 folks. And each of the folks came from different industries. And they would get together every week. And they would brainstorm things that were going on in each other's lives. Now, the goal when you get together with your who on to crew is every person in there contributes and every person in there gets something out of it. So you're going to need folks in your life that are going to help you accomplish things that you don't know how to yet. Because if you knew how to do all these things right now, this very second, your goal should already be accomplished. I'm just going to put it out there, and that's the way it is. However, if there are things you need to learn, help you're going to need to achieve. I hate accounting. This is a perfect example. I hate accounting. I know how to do it, and I'm very good with numbers. I just hate doing the exercise of balancing this and checking that and yada, you know what I'm saying? So I get someone who loves to do that. What a perfect balance that is. I give them work I don't like to do. They do work they love to do. And I find something that I love to do and I do it for them. It's an exchange, right? You can't create something and you can't subtract something. It's all about an exchange of energies, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what your Who on To crew is going to be all about. I need to learn this. Well, who do I know in my circle of friends that knows how to do that? Maybe Nan can help me with this. Now, how can I help Nan? What can I bring to Nan's world of value in exchange for the value of learning what she knows? You feel me? Okay. So, and then create that ongoing meeting with them. Maybe in the early days, it's every week, and then you can move it to every 2 weeks. And again, every time you guys get together, you bring, here's my question to the group. Here's what I'm struggling with. And then you help each and every other person in that group with what they're struggling with. Even if it's just, have you thought of trying this? It doesn't have to be something where you've got to go out and spend hours fixing it. It's a share of ideas, because what you'll find is one mind, amazing. Two minds, oh my gosh, the things you can come up with. Five minds, all focused on getting you to your goal and you getting them to theirs. You're going to come up with ideas and solutions you can't even imagine by yourself. Okay. Now we're down to the A, and I want to do a quick time check here. How are we doing on time? Okay, we got a couple of minutes here. We're going to rush through this. One of the things you can do if you want to learn more about this process in much more detail, you can go to darkhorseschooling.com/goals. And I believe they'll put that link down in the chat there for me. And you can, I'm not even going to ask for your email. I'm just going to share some resources with you where I go into this far deeper and take the time to walk you through the entire process in a bunch of different ways. The A obviously is action. If you don't take action, ladies and gentlemen, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. You're going to be sitting in the chair in front of the TV a year from now looking at, oh, well, I didn't do anything. Okay. I used to sign all my emails way back in the 90s with think successfully, which is a good idea. Everyone should think successfully, put out that positive energy. But if you don't take action, it won't help you any. So today you'll hear me sign off every one of my podcasts with think successfully and take action. The last couple I'm going to rattle off here for the 30 seconds I've got are review, tenacity. Oh, well, that's the last two, isn't it? When you take action, you're going to get a result. Quite often, that result isn't going to be exactly what you expected. You may call it failure. I call it feedback. I'm big into the geek world. I program computers, and the more data I have, the more new programming lines I can put in. So it's not failure, it's feedback. And the last thing is it's going to take time. So you're going to need to have some tenacity. Okay. That's my time. Again, darkhorseschooling.com/goals. And you can get this same content in much deeper dive. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you, everybody.
Tracy, that was awesome. Holy smokes. You are the man.
Well, thank you, sir.
I love it. Okay. Keeping us going and bringing us home is our final speaker, but not our least speaker, Sheena Ramgopal. As a spiritual intuitive coach, her life underwent profound transformation through her connection with higher power, sacred Mother Nature, and the Archangel Michael. For 16 years, she navigated as a functioning alcoholic in the corporate world. And today she celebrates 18 years of sobriety, truly living. And how did she make that shift? Well, she harnessed the power of breath, practiced intuitive meditation, and an unwavering belief in spirituality. Her mission is to assist women and families in balancing their personal and professional lives. And she's curated a spiritual toolkit, empowering her to discover life's purpose and prepare to guide others. So please welcome our final speaker today, Sheena Ramgopal. Sheena.
Hi, JB. Love, light, and healing to you all. So I'm Sheena, and I'm coming in from the UK. It's about 4:45 here, Rachel. Yeah, I think you're with me in the UK. Lovely. So it's so great to be amongst like-minded people, and we are perfectly aligned here to raise the vibration, not just in this group, not just the people, the beautiful people who are going to come back and listen to us, but the words that have been echoed here is going to raise the vibration of someone, somewhere, a million miles away across the ocean. And that vibration is going to travel to them and raise them. And that's the power of the breath. And as JB said, you know, I was an alcoholic for 16 years. I put on my black and white Gucci suit, go to the train station, rock up in a very high profile place where we would, you know, do business with VIPs, royalties, Joe Bloggs, you name it. And there I was, addicted every day for 16 years. I'm just going to keep track of the time. For 15 years, for 16 years, I was a functioning alcoholic. And, you know, I still have my beliefs. I still worship spirit. I believed in Mother Nature. I believed that a miracle one day would happen. but I still drunk. I still drunk. I still had my need. I still had my addictive behavior. But what I didn't know at the time, but what I understood thereafter, is that in this cup, my spiritual cup, was my belief, was my love for spirit, was my undying love that one day a miracle would happen. And then that cup on the 15th of March, 2005, overflowed. And I didn't have to drink whiskey because I was an expensive drinker. That landed me £85,000 worth of debt over 16 years. And I did away with that cup. I'm now 18 years in sobriety. So the journey, the rainbow, blimey, I am blessed that I was that spirit of lessons. I work with the planets, I work with Mother Earth, I talk to spirit. So the planet Saturn that some of you might know about comes and dishes us all our harsh lessons. And he rocked up and said, Sheena, you know, I'm going to put you through this. You've got to show up every day and you've got to do what you've got to do. And I did. But it took me 16 years. And the journey to get me from A to B is what I teach. People who come to me, they've been around all the houses. They're successful business people and they're not happy. They're earning millions and they're still not happy. They think they've found their purpose and they're still searching, they're chasing. As you know, mental health, playing its image out in OCD, a lot of children who are self-harming, and addictive behavior is rampaging through society. So where do I come in? We're all pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. And even as we sit here, you know, we've come together as one. And my part in all of this is to teach people how to do it for yourself so that you don't have to come to me. Now, a lot of people will say, well, how are you going to make money from that? I've gone beyond that. You know, I will eat bread and water and jam to make sure that someone somehow uplifts themselves, learns, grows, and gives back. So the journey for me was, Spirit was very clever because they were teaching me a system away. And so Spiritus was founded, and that's being published in my book. And as we speak, I'm very proud that Neil Donald Walsh, the legendary Neil Donald Walsh, is reading my chapter, in co-founder of several other authors, to get the message out there. So when people want to make change, you know, there's no coincidence that the letter A is at the beginning of the alphabet. We have to acknowledge, like I did. I woke up and that moment I picked up the phone and asked for help. We have to accept it. And we have to accept that, you know, enough is enough and awaken. But that takes time. It's a process, like many of you have talked about. And what I learned from Spirit was that we all know the energy centers, the wonderful chakras that have been around for millennia. But Spirit taught me that they are actually values. And the power of the breath is all that we need. We're not going to have a coach. We're not going to have a doctor. We're not going to have a therapist. We're not going to have the manifestors and the creators. We're not going to have social media. When I was on the train track wanting to commit suicide, or I was desperate, well, what I had was the power of my breath. And when we can breathe in a certain way to align our values, those values start to play out into reality. So those values are truth. You know, if we want to make change and we want to make a decision, we have to go beyond that decision. If we ask, yeah, am I going to give up alcohol? Yeah, am I going to walk away from those people who are draining my vibration? Well, a yes and a no is not good enough. We have to seek the truth. And to seek the truth, we have to dip into the creative, intuitive mind that many other people here have been talking about. But to access that intuitive energy, we have to do something, and we have to breathe. That's all that we've got. And if we can guide that breath and speak our truth, you know, the great divine Mother Earth, the breath follows the vocal cords. So we have to speak our truth. Are we being authentic that change that you and I want to make, whether it's giving up alcohol, walk on your way from negative, dramatic chaos around us, we have to speak our truth for us, not for anybody else. And as we guide that breath into our lungs, and we feel our lungs expand. You know, science shows us that, and I started in biochemistry way back then. And, you know, Google will show you that when you breathe and you open up your lungs, it can spread the surface area of a tennis court. Well, Mother Nature, she's pretty clever. So when we breathe into our lungs, we're reminding ourselves of all those inner strengths. So we've spoken our truth, we're being authentic. What are those inner strengths? You know, when you're up against it, boy, and the storm and the tsunami is coming at you, you breathe. And held in those lungs is a memory where your resilience is there, your determination, your confidence, whatever it is that you pulled on. So we breathe into that and we remind ourselves in the moment, hang on, I want to make this change. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to pull on all my inner strengths. And we guide the breath down into the heart. See how clever Mother Earth is? She's doing all the work for us. And as we guide the breath into the heart and we exhale, wow, we're taking that leap of faith. We're taking that trust. We are ready to create with love. And most of all, we're going to take that breath all the way down into the power of the tummy. Yeah, where Jupiter lives, above and below the sacral area, above and below the belly button. Well, that's where your creativity is. The butterfly scenario, when we get excited and we're nervous, like I was coming on, waiting right at the tail end. But we're stirring our power. Why? I want to make this change. I want to speak my truth. I know I have the inner strengths. I need to remind it. Open my heart. Take that leap of faith to trust. Take the breath down into the power of the tummy. What are you going to do with that power? It's like a light bulb. Yeah, I know. It's been dimmed for such a long time. We come into other people's energy and it dims and we forget to turn it up. So we stay in that low vibration. So how are we going to ignite that power? The breath. The breath is all that we need. And remind yourself, well, what are we going to do with that power? What are we going to be? What are we going to become? What are we going to create? And the final part of that breath is to take it all the way down to the root. The root, like a tree, the roots go down beneath the earth. That's where Mother Earth is. We step out every day on her foundation. We walk on Mother Earth. So when we breathe, let's take that breath all the way down. And remember, well, hang on, what's our foundation? Who's supporting me on this change that I'm going to make? Where is that support coming from? And how am I going to maintain that support? Do I need to detach myself? These are the sort of things that no matter where you are in the moment, you can make that transformation. And I believe, like the many hundreds of people that I've helped, that it's not about you and it's not about me. It's about learning, taking the wisdom and helping someone else so that we can walk lighter and brighter with just the power of the breath. You know, and we don't have to go sit on a mountaintop. Yes, Steve Jobs, yes, Mr. Zuckerberg, they went to India, they went and found sat in a temple because they were searching for peace. With all their millions and their billions, maybe at that time, they were searching for peace. We don't need to do that. We have everything inside of us. And that's what I want to teach. This internal compass, we have it all inside us. The tools that we have within. So if we've got this internal compass and we've got the internal breath, and we look up in the evening sky and we see the moon illuminating us, we've just come out of the full moon. We see the stars behind it who are doing its work. We see the sun rising for me and for you every single day. No matter where we are, Spirit's not interested in how successful we are. They're not interested in how much money we make. Where I believe that Spirit is interested in how we can help someone else grow. The footprint that we're leaving behind, so that someone else can step in that and raise the vibration of someone else, your children, your family, but most of all, someone, somewhere in the world, like me and you, once upon a time, that didn't have anybody. We didn't have Google back then. We didn't have social media back then. But you know what? We had the power of our breath. and a power greater than yourself. You know, and that power can just be a simple rose. You know, this simple rose. We're all petals of the divine Mother Earth. And you know what? When we look up into the sky and we see those 3 stars, inner peace, inner love, and inner happiness, that's there. But how are we going to navigate to that? When we decide to make that change or resolution or decision based on truth, and you're thinking, well, hang on, where's my compass? Let me put my hand in my pocket. Let me breathe. Okay, am I traveling towards inner peace, inner love, inner happiness? So what's out of sync? Am I speaking my truth? Ooh, possibly not. Am I opening up my heart to trust? What are you trusting in? We all have a power greater than ourselves, whether it's Mother Earth, whether it's God, yes, I talk to Spirit. Archangel Michael has been with me since the age of 9. I'm 58 now. We roar together. Whatever it is, it's a power greater than yourself. And when you breathe and you follow those values and you work out which one is out of sync, challenge yourself by asking the right questions. Don't ask for questions that that give a yes and a no answer, because then the cheeky monkey comes in and he distorts everything. He comes in and sits on your shoulder and says, "What do you want to go and give up that for? Yeah, what do you want to go and do that for? No. You just stay where you are. You're comfortable with what you're doing. You're comfortable. Why do you want to go and help people? You just look after yourself." So, my dear, that is what I am doing, and I'm grateful to be here in this space to share that message with you. Inner love, inner peace, inner happiness. And I believe that
thank you.
the words that we've spoken today is helping people that we don't even know. One tree connecting with another. Love, light, and healing to you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Well, I want to take a moment, first of all, to thank everybody on the panel today. I really appreciate your time and energy. Your messages were amazing. And the offers that you had, I'm sure they're going to put them into the message in Facebook. I want to make sure that everybody understands that they should really take advantage of these. This is not something that the speakers give lightly. They're giving a piece of themselves because they understand that this can help you in your lives. So take advantage of this opportunity to go out, reach out to them on the various parts of your life, whether it's diet or personal relationships or business or centering yourself or connecting with the universe, all kinds of different opportunities you have. Many different speakers are talking about the same thing in a different realm. So please take advantage of that opportunity. Are there any questions from the audience? And I'm not even sure where I would get that information, so there you go. But if not, what I would say is, again, thank you so much, panel, for being here. I'm really honored that you guys decided to be here as well. No disrespect to the ladies. I use the word guys a lot, so it just happens that that's how it works. But thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to continuing our conversations in the future and helping you reach as many people as you can, because we're here to help you. So thanks again to everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.